Hey guys, welcome to Living with the Coopers. I'm David.
And I'm Ellen.
And this is Slim Down Sundays. Now, as you may have seen from our other videos, this week we were in Disneyland Paris. We went for the half-board option, so we just want to talk about how it was to eat there. Also, I'm going to be talking about eating at buffets because I'm in a wedding band and I'm often around buffets. And Ellen?
I'm mainly going to be talking about how to control yourself at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Because it's harder than you may think. So you know the drill, we normally discuss our progress, but obviously we've been away, so we don't know how we've done. We're not away for a couple of days yet. I personally feel I have had a little bit of a gain. Not a massive one. My clothes are still fit and tidy. I just feel a little bit bloated, but that's due to me eating bread. I was eating bread pretty much every day. Yeah, I'm not too worried about getting on the scales, because as I said in the last video, I got down under my target, ready in preparation for this holiday. But I'm feeling quite happy with myself.
I personally think I've put on a bit as well. I've got the mentality that if I'm away, then I can kind of eat what I want within reason. I was having chocolate, I was having dessert. My breakfast was always healthy. I was always having speed food with all of my main meals as well. It's just a dessert started creeping in, but I'm fine with that. As I mentioned, in Disneyland we had half board. That meant we'd get a breakfast a day each and we'd get a main meal a day each. That could either be lunch or dinner, and there were a few options of where to eat that as well, which we'll get onto in a second. But starting with breakfast, we know it's a very important meal in the day, and personally I found that I was a little bit held back with breakfast. As somebody who's on Slimming World and wanting a healthy breakfast, I don't know whether it'd be different in the other hotels, but in our hotel, the Sequoia Lodge, to be healthy, basically my options were boiled eggs,
Fruit.
yes, a load of chopped up fruit, some ham and some chicken slices, and that was basically it, wasn't it?
I, however, enjoyed a full cooked breakfast every morning. I didn't go crazy, and it wasn't insane amounts of bad things there. There was bacon, and I couldn't cut the fat off because it was streaky bacon. There were sausages, which I think they were really, really lean, because I'm pretty sure they were beef sausages.
Yeah, they looked like beef sausages.
So it wasn't so bad. And it was scrambled egg. But I had that every single morning, and some other things. Crept in.
What are the other things?
Well, I had a bowl of cereal every morning.
That's
and
fine.
I had a couple of croissants every morning.
Yeah, pain au chocolat.
And a few glasses of juice every morning. And a cappuccino. So yeah, my morning, I was all about, I'm not a very nice person if I'm hungry, so I wanted to make sure I was nice and full.
Bringing on to the parks then. In the park, the first night we got there a bit late. We wanted to see the show, so we had no option but to eat in the park. The restaurant was already booked, so the only thing we could turn to was fast food. So we had a hot dog and chips the first night.
Yeah.
We weren't proud of ourselves, but we'd had a very long day travelling.
So it didn't matter.
So the next day then, to counteract these times in the day where you need food, we went shopping in a local supermarket. We picked up a ton of fruit. What else did we get? We got little cheeses.
Yeah, loads of little just snacky things really that weren't too bad really.
No, apart from the chocolate, I picked up some Kinder chocolate. As you know, I'm a big fan, and I picked up a lot of it. And I ate the majority of it as well that first day, within the first 24 hours. But our recommendation is if you feel like you need to take your own stuff there, then by all means do it. I mean, it's a very long day without going for food, and we couldn't afford the park prices. It's something like €35 per meal, near enough.
It's crazy money.
So that leads us on to our main meal of the day. Now, we were staying in the Sequoia Lodge, which weirdly wasn't covered by our half board. We had to pay a little bit of a supplement. It was €7 each, but that was fine. We wanted a decent meal. So it was buffet style. There were a few strange things there, especially as a Slimming World eater then, they had nice jacket potatoes, but next to these jacket potatoes was a guy that was blowtorching the top of a wheel of cheese and then scraping it all onto the jacket potato. I had one. I had to have one. I've never seen it actually in person, and it was amazing. But it was a few good things. I mean,
there was loads of veg, loads of fish, loads of meat as well. So the typical, like, you know, meat, potatoes and veg was all there, but then you turn the corner and the desserts were there. And I'm not a crazy dessert person, so that doesn't bother me too much, but I know when I saw them that David was going to be struggling.
And I struggled a little bit. I did give in, didn't I? I had 2 slices of dessert. But once again, you know, I was on holiday and I was kind of trying to counteract it with the exercise and with my breakfast. So then we went the second night to the Cheyenne Hotel, which was another all-you-can-eat buffet. More barbecue style. Once again, loads of meats.
Loads of salad.
Yeah, tons and
really
tons
nice.
and tons of salad. Little, like, mixed salads as well. So it wasn't just, you know, you make your own. They had, like, little bean salads, lentil salads. Yeah. It was great. It was really, really nice. And then the final day, then, we ate dinner in the park itself. I can't remember the name of the restaurant right now, but if you check the description, it'll be in there anyway. And that was... We kind of kicked ourselves for not going there for the entire...
It was stunning. And everything was so fresh and just beautiful. And I'm a massive fish lover. And they had fresh cod loins, but in like...
Beurre blanc sauce, isn't it?
It was
an
butter,
orange.
Yeah, but butter and orange type of sauce. And it was stunning. But I made sure then, obviously, the sauce has got to be thinned and stuff. But I piled the veg on and I made a really nice salad. And I did have some of the pesto pasta with prawns as well. Like, it was absolutely beautiful, but it felt so nice to have some proper veg, because we missed out, really, hadn't we? Because, like, during the day, we were just snacking on what we had, which was a bit of fruit, and I was having a couple of, like, croissants and stuff, but, it was just so nice to have a tasty, fresh, crunchy, just beautiful salad.
Moving on slightly to all-you-can-eat buffets, I know we've covered them a little bit so far, but we want to try and go a little bit more in depth as to what we do when we're in buffets. We've both got very different... eating habits anyway. So, for example, in an all-you-can-eat buffet, I will not eat carbs. I tend to go for all veg and all meat. And the reason I've always done this is because I feel that I'm getting my most for my money.
Yeah.
It's kind of followed me through into Slimming World as well. I mean, I know there's certain things I can't eat now, and I could probably eat all the you know, the rice and the stuff, but...
Yeah.
But I'd rather still just go for the nice, healthy meats and, you know, all the vegetables and stuff like that. In Disney, it was the same. I didn't eat a single carb. I think I had that one jacket potato with cheese on. But apart from that, I was having only meats. And because the selection was so vast, it was beautiful. It was really, really nice.
I'm still in the mindset of if I don't have carbs on the plate, I'm not full. But that's just something... in my head. I know it's not true. I know that you can have a plate of veg and meat and you'll be fine. And I've done it in the past. I do it at home. But when I'm eating out, I really enjoy, like, a potato, something potato on the plate. Whether it's a jacket potato, whether it is a couple of chips, or even just a little bit of mash, anything like that. But if we're talking curry, I've got to have a little bit of rice. It's just something I've always had to do. And I've never struggled with it. It's never affected my weight loss. You know, going back the last few months, like, I've never had an issue with it. Would
you say it's as long as it's within reason?
Yeah, it's
like if you eat in a plate full of chips with, you know, a little bit of something else.
Yeah, it was always... I'd always have just a little bit of it anyway. I'd never go crazy. Like, they're beautiful, like, new potatoes, but, like, roasted with garlic. They were really nice. But I literally probably had about 4 potatoes because they were cut in half. And that was enough for me, because I know then I had that carb on my plate. But yeah, it's never been an issue with me, but everyone's bodies are different, so some people can't get away with having as much carbs as I would. But as I said, I never really filled the plate with them. I'd always make sure a third of the plate only.
If you've done Slimming World for a while, or even if you're new, you know what constitutes a healthy meal. I mean, you know, you can go that little bit further maybe if you're on holiday and try not to worry about it. Most people go away expecting a gain anyway. Just construct your meal knowing what is good. I mean, 1/3 would be your meat or whatever, then 1/3 speed, and then 1/3 of whatever. Just have the stuff that you're not normally allowed then, and I say allowed, I mean you can have anything, but it's harder to sin these things when you're away because you don't know what's in it. Yeah, so one thing here could be very high in sins, it could be lower in sins there, but you don't know, so just be a bit careful when it comes to that. Ellen's just had to nip out and get the baby, so I'm going to be doing this last bit alone. It's all about buffet food, and I've got the most experience with buffets anyway, as I'm in a wedding band, and I'm often going to weddings and functions around the UK, and I'm put in front of a lot of buffets. Now, the majority of these buffets are absolutely incredible, but not so incredible if you're on Slimming World. So I'm going to give you a few of my tips and tricks that I use when I'm put in front of a buffet that's not necessarily that healthy. Secondly, I look for any meats, preferably meats that aren't in a sauce, or if they are, a relatively healthy sauce. Hog roasts are great because you can just take a load of the pork and just, as long as you can avoid the crackling. Have a little bit if you want, I always do. But, if you want to really reduce your sins, then keep away from the crackling and just go for meat. Finally, let's talk about sandwiches. There's always sandwiches on the buffets that I go to, and there's an easy way to get around them all if you don't want to eat the bread. So what I do is I'll just take the sandwich anyway and take the bread off. I know it sounds so stupid, but if you've got all that other stuff going on, as long as everything else is healthy, you can kind of make a little salad with it all. If you really, really are going to struggle with a buffet, then it may be worth thinking about taking a little bit of Tupperware of something that you can eat, something like salad or some veg and some meat, just so you haven't got that temptation to go up and pick on the stuff that you're not allowed. As from next week, we're going to change the time this video goes up. It's currently going up at 2 p.m, but instead we're going to put it at 7:30 like the rest of our videos. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.